Hey Jeff,
Hey,
what you drinking there?
coffee.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
My beautiful blonde roast coffee from.
Oh, I thought your name was Jeff and not Block. It looks like.
Well, I mean, as you can see, I do have a bit of blonde highlights in my hair here.
Or did you frost your tips?
Did I what?
Frost your tips?
I used to, but now it's turned to gray. Like it's more of a gray nature now. So
It's I guess that's not a frosting. That's more of an icicling or something.
yeah, if that's what you want to call it, sure, John. Um, but I see that you also frost your tips too.
Yeah, I did this one specifically. It's coming in. My ginger is turning into silver, and I'm
Well,
not.
talking about the top up here.
Oh yeah. No.
I may be getting there soon. I've noticed I've starting to recede a little bit, but
You
I
know
think I
what?
have a long ways to go to catch you.
It's you think that you're making fun of me, but I don't care. I've been shaving my head for years, and that's
Yeah, I know.
totally fine. So, well,
Okay. All right.
how how's life in Toronto? I know we get to chat quite often. Not as much recently, just with the physical distancing, obviously. But how's life in Toronto, and what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, yeah, things are okay. I mean, obviously, the past few weeks have been tough. A world was one way, and then all of a sudden, overnight, it just seemed like it all sort of switched. And but you know what? I mean, people are starting to adjust, and obviously, businesses is not what it used to be in terms of opportunities and just um, activity in general. But I think people are trying to figure it out sort of day by day, hour by hour. So.
So you are famously a non-HR kind of guy. I think is the best way of describing that. What do you see as the most important thing that organizations can do from a people perspective right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now is organizations have to keep in contact with people, and if 3 weeks ago it was so easy just to get up from your chair and just go talk to somebody down the hallway or sort of pick up the phone, but now we're dealing in a world of massive uncertainty and fear, and I think things like mental health, wellness, um, that whole thing about sort of working from home, being isolated. I think organizations really need to be really mindful of that. And if they think that they're not communicating enough with their people and using tools like video, ongoing chat, Slack, and so on, they need to do it. And I think that's the biggest thing is protecting the mental health and the well-being of the people, and also know that their productivity may not be what it was, right?
Yeah.
We're asking people to go from working one way, to another overnight, and it doesn't happen that quickly. So I think organizations really need to, maintain contact with people regularly, schedule it into their days, use all of the, amazing social tools like Zoom, and just really protect their mental health.
So what do you think is going to be the major impact for, like, there's a lot of organizations that have been hesitant for remote work or work from home or quote unquote flexibility, that kind of stuff. We're now kind of in a prove it stage where we're all working from home. Sure, the productivity may not be the same and it's a different world and blah, 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 blah. What do you think is going to come out the other end here? A couple months when we're getting more back to, I guess, our existing normal. What do you think is going to be the impact to those hesitant leaders around flexibility and work from home? Like, do you think this is going to change the dynamic from an employee perspective to demand it versus value it?
That's a great question. I honestly don't know. My suspicion is that I think what's happening right now is that those organizations that were dead set against flexible work in this way may see some value in what's happening, but I think they're once the rules are gone, I think they're going to go back to what they used to do. I think you may see some organizations adopt a bit more flexible working arrangement where they give the employees more choice. right?
Right.
That might happen. I really want to believe that, but I'm still seeing a lot of organizations today. They are putting so many rules and barriers around their employees right now. They have to check in every morning at 8:30, and they have to do like a roll call. And so that trust factor, that is the main thing right there. And I don't know. I mean, but only time will tell. I mean, this could go on for 2 more weeks. This could go on for another year. I mean, nobody really knows. And but I think that a lot of those companies that truly believe in the butt in chair, visual optic will go back. I really believe that.
So, and I think it's a really interesting, not just question, but no one knows, But I think the idea of the Sector 7G, work the hours in the shift, I think from a knowledge worker standpoint, I think it's really going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds. It's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think those organizations that are truly global, I think may see a huge, impact, because I think, having people, work from home in all four corners of the globe. Like, I'm working on a small little project right now, and we have people that are in India, people that are, Australia, all over the place. So the beauty of the virtual technology is great. I mean, but I've been using it for a decade and more. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, only time will tell. I mean, it's hard to say.
So I found out actually that not my next door neighbor, but in my neighborhood, one of the Ottawa Senators' goaltenders lives near me.
Really?
Yeah, I got to thinking, Jeff, it's not well known that you play defense for the Maple Leafs, but I'm curious to know, how has it been not being on the ice with the boys and the team, and I really thought you guys had a chance for the Stanley Cup this year, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Well, let me just set the record straight. I got traded from the Maple Leafs to the Canucks, which is a much better team.
Oh, okay.
I actually held out so I could be traded to the Canucks because, I don't know if you're seeing anything around the, web, the Twitterverse and so on, the social distancing image of the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Stanley Cup. So, and, people can say the same thing about the Vancouver Canucks, but I guess, but the Leafs last won the Cup. I think there were 10 teams in the league back in 1967. I wasn't even born yet,
Wasn't it the year that Bill Barocco disappeared? I'm trying to remember that Tragically Hip lyric.
Pardon me, sorry?
I'm trying to remember the Tragically Hip lyric. Wasn't it the year Bill Barocco disappeared?
I don't remember. I don't know. But, Toronto Maple Leafs, yeah, so, not being on the ice with Pedersen, Horvat, and, all those guys, yeah, it's been tough.
You'll be back. Hey, what?
What's that?
What has surprised you the most about what you've learned about yourself since you've been kind of confined in your house with your family and your Netflix and your project?
To be honest with you, it's made you think about your own family. It's made you think about how, I'm a healthy person, and I'm really thankful for my health and my family's health, and that's the most important thing. Although they drive me crazy, but the thing is that when push comes to shove, things in life happen, but your family is the most important thing, and I guess take really difficult things to happen like this for you to actually realize that sometimes, and I also think that as well as knowing myself, one of my values is always to to help others. So I've really tried to step that up in a big way. I've learned that is something that I really believe in. So although things are not great on the business front, but if I can keep helping others, then that's good.
And you mentioned earlier before we hit record, you mentioned that you've been providing free consultations to business leaders seeking HR guidance. Do you want to give that a plug?
Yeah, I mean, I just figure there are a lot of small and medium-sized businesses here in Toronto, or even nationally, internationally, that are really, struggling, trying to figure things out. And I've been offering my support to the HR leaders, or if they don't have HR, their senior business leaders, and just trying to lend an ear, a hand, sounding board. And so I've done probably about a dozen now, of those calls. And it's just a video chat. I think I'm, just trying to help out. It can be anything. But a lot of it has had to do with, layoffs, how to restructure compensation, what to do about this whole remote work thing, and just anything at all. So,
is there, you're one of the organizers of Disrupt HR in Toronto. Is there any truth to the rumor that I started that you're going to do a virtual event?
Yeah, so we actually brought it to Canada in 2015. So the first event, actually was in Toronto. There was a rumor, but we're not doing it. Unfortunately, it's against the rules of Disrupt HR. So they're not in favor of any of the chapters hosting virtual events. But you know what? That's fine. It's fine. So what I decided to do was launch 4 virtual SocialHR Camp events. So the first one is next Thursday, actually, and we're going to be talking about employee engagement. So we already have over 125 people registered already for it. And,
oh, awesome.
Yeah, so Work Tango is going to be there, Thought Exchange, First30, Ready.com, and a whole bunch of other companies. So we're going to be doing 4 next month. Well, sorry, this month. So April 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. And each one is going to have a different thing.
Isn't it nuts that when you say this month and then you say April, then we realize that we're April today?
We are, and people have been talking about this whole, April Fool's Day thing, and I'm like, if you play a joke on me today, I'm going to kill you. If you want to tell me a joke, that's fine, but if you're going to do like an April Fool's Day thing, now it's not the right time.
Yeah, and I'm not a joke teller, so I'm not going to give you any knock-knocks. I enjoy telling stories. But I don't have any jokes for you. But maybe if I can come up with one, I'll send you an email.
Well, you already did. You thought I played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, that was a joke right there. Come on, man.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, Jeff, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're keeping safe. I'm glad you're still getting Blanc coffee. Blanc?
What are you talking about? Blonde.
No, how it's written.
It's a kind of a roast, John.
No, I'm saying I know what coffee is. I'm saying it looks like Blanc. Yeah, let's let the record show that says Blanc. Anyway.
Oh, it's backwards, isn't it backwards?
You're not looking into a mirror, man. Anyway, you be good, be safe.
You too, John. Thank you very much for having me, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Ciao.